Hello! As we learned in the previous video that HRP has three main components in its process: forecasting, goal setting and strategic planning, program implementation and evaluation. In this video, we will discuss the second component of HRP process, that is goal setting and strategic planning. Previously, we discussed that through forecasting, we identified labor shortages and labor surpluses. And based on these figures, specific numerical goals are set and a specific time period is set for when the results should be achieved. Now, for example, the goal set is to hire 8 personnel in the marketing department within 1 month and fire 12 personnel from the production department within 1 week. Now, for each goal, the organization must choose one or more human resource strategies. A variety of strategies are available for handling the expected shortages and surpluses of labor. The planning stage is very critical. Let us understand this through the following tables. This table shows major options for reducing an expected labor surplus. The first column shows the HR strategies for addressing labor surplus, that is, downsizing, pay reducing, demotions, transfers, work sharing, hiring freeze, natural attrition, early retirement, and retraining. The second column shows the speed of the results, and the third column depicts the amount of human suffering caused by the strategies. Well, the options differ widely in their expense, speed, and effectiveness. The options for reducing a labor surplus also cause different amounts of human suffering, that is high, medium, or low. Now, depending on the situation, the company chooses the available options. Now, as discussed in this table, some organizations try to anticipate labor surpluses far enough ahead so that they can freeze hiring and let natural attrition reduce the labor force, that is, people leaving on their own. Now, here the results are slow and the human suffering caused is very low. Unfortunately, for many workers, the organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing environment by responding to a labor surplus by downsizing, which delivers fast results. Well, downsizing is an HR strategy which aims at planned elimination of a large number of personnel with the goal of enhancing the organization's competitiveness. Although downsizing has an immediate effects and costs, but unless it is managed well, the efforts often fail as employees who survive the purge become self-absorbed and fail to take the risks. Motivation drops because any hope of future promotions or any future with the company dies. The problems with downsizing can be reduced with better planning. The next strategy is reducing hours. Well, some organizations offer other avenues to eliminate labor surplus, and one such alternative is cutting work hours, generally with a corresponding reduction in pay. For example, putting employees on a 4-day work week or offering employees a chance to take extra days off at the end of the year, which would be unpaid. Another popular way to reduce labor surplus is with an early retirement program. Some organizations even offer phased retirement programs where the older workers can continue working while reducing the number of hours. Well, this also gives a psychological benefit of easing into the retirement. Now let's look at the second table, which shows the strategies to deal with labor shortages. The first column shows the various options available, that is, overtime, temporary employees, outsourcing, retrained transfers, turnover reductions, new external hires, and technological innovation. The second column shows the speed and effectiveness, and the third column shows how easily an organization can undo the change if it no longer faces a labor shortage. For example, an organization would not want to handle every expected labor shortage by hiring new employees. Well, this process is relatively slow and involves expenses to find and train the new employees. And also, if the shortage becomes a surplus, the organization will have to consider laying off some of the employees. And layoffs involve another set of expenses such as severance pay, and they are costly in terms of human suffering. Now let us look at some of the options for dealing with labor shortage, like employing temporary and contract workers. At times, employers arrange to hire a temporary worker through an agency that specializes in linking employers with people who have necessary skills. Employers may even contract directly with individuals. But employing temporary or contract workers has its own limitations, as these workers may not be as committed to the organization. So, such workers clearly supplement but do not replace the permanent employees. Now, another way of dealing with labor shortage could be outsourcing. Well, organizations use outsourcing as a way to operate more efficiently and save money. They choose the outsourcing firms that promise to deliver the same or better quality at a lower cost. When organizations facing a labor shortage are reluctant to hire employees, even the temporary workers, or to commit to an outsourcing arrangement, then they may try to garner more hours from the existing labor force, asking them to go from part-time to full-time status or to work overtime. Well, this option is most suited for short-term labor shortages. Well, another consideration while choosing the options for dealing with shortages or surpluses, we kept into consideration the time involved and the human suffering. Another consideration in choosing an HR strategy is whether the employees needed will contribute directly to the organization's success. For example, when we are looking at options for dealing with labor shortage and we select the option of overtime, then along with looking at the consideration of speed of result and the human suffering caused, we also need to consider the employees who have core competencies. Because organizations are most likely to benefit from hiring and retaining employees who provide a core competency, that is, a set of knowledge and skills that make the organization superior to competitors and create value for customers. For example, at a store, core competencies include choosing merchandise that shoppers want and providing shoppers with excellent service. So, in this video, we discussed the various strategies for dealing with the shortage or surplus of labor within an organization. In the next, we shall deal with implementation of these strategies.